All right, let's get right into it. For years, you've been sold a total lie. That success comes from doing more, from juggling, from multitasking your way to the top. While today, we're here to blow that myth sky high. We're going to show you the real secret to winning big. And spoiler alert, it's all about going small. Hey, does this sound familiar? Your calendar is just slammed, your to-do list is a disaster movie, and you are constantly busy. But when the day is done, you kind of feel like you haven't really moved the needle on anything that matters. That, my friend, is the overwhelm trap. It's that wall you hit, not because you aren't working hard enough, but because you're working your tail off on all the wrong things. This quote just nails it. Picture this. Gary Keller's coaching these absolute top-tier performers, right? They're checking boxes, they're getting stuff done, but not the right stuff. The frustration was real, and the results were tanking. So literally out of desperation, he just started hacking away at their to-do lists, from 5 things down to 3, then 2, until he hit on this one single game-changing question. And boom, that's when everything changed. And this is the root of the whole problem. We've been taught to think that success is about addition. Just pile on more tasks, more projects, more responsibilities.
But it's not. It's actually an act of subtraction. Spreading yourself out doesn't make you a superhero. It just makes sure you're giving a tiny, mediocre piece of yourself to 100 different things.
Which leads us perfectly to the main villain of our story today, the one thing that has been quietly sabotaging your success. We're talking about that big, fat lie, that productivity killer. You know it. It's called multitasking. Okay, let's just tear this thing down once and for all. This idea that doing more at once is better, it's not just wrong, it's a total scam.
It really is. It's a trick your brain plays on you. It makes you feel super productive while you're actually just spinning your wheels.
Oh, this analogy is perfect. Just imagine a monkey, okay, swinging wildly from branch to branch to branch, never stopping, never actually focusing on anything. That's your brain when you try to multitask.
Exactly. You think you're juggling? No way. You're just dropping all the balls. All you're doing is rapidly switching from one task to another, and it absolutely murders your focus.
And here's what it costs you. Yeah, there's a number. Researchers figure that all those distractions and the mess of multitasking, it steals almost 1/3 of our workday. Let that sink in for a second. That's like 2 hours a day. That's more than a full workday every single week, just gone. Vanished into the chaos of the monkey mind. So what's the fix? What's the antidote? It's this simple, powerful truth right here. You don't get to big results by trying to do everything at once. Nope. You get there by doing one right thing, and then the next right thing, and then the next. It's all about building momentum, one step at a time. And this brings us to one of my favorite ideas, the domino effect. Let's talk a little physics. A single ordinary domino can knock over another one that's 50% bigger.
So when you line them up just right, one small, incredibly focused action can set off a chain reaction with almost unbelievable power. This isn't a metaphor. This is the physics of success.
And this is where it gets absolutely wild. It all starts with something tiny. The first domino, the little guy that kicks off this whole massive cascade, can be just 2 inches tall. But check out the insane power of geometric progression. By the time you get to the 18th domino in that line, you are knocking over something the size of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And if that didn't blow your mind, this will. By the 57th domino, that little 2-inch push has now generated enough power to topple a domino that could literally form a bridge from the Earth all the way to the moon.
That is the power we're talking about when we say you need to find your lead domino. You find that one thing and you put all your energy right there.
So how in the world do you find that first domino? Well, it starts by understanding something called the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule. It basically says that 80% of your results will come from just 20% of your effort. The problem is, most people get lost in what's called the trivial many. Success comes when you train yourself to spot the vital few. You need an eye for what's truly essential. Which brings us to the tool, the one thing you can use every single day, every hour if you need to find your lead domino.
This is your secret weapon. This is how you cut through all the clutter, all the noise, and find the one thing that truly matters.
This, right here. This is the magic formula. You need to read it, memorize it, maybe even get it tattooed on your arm. I don't know. But this isn't just a question. It's a whole new operating system for your life.
That's it, exactly. It is designed to do one thing and one thing only, to find your single most leveraged action, the most important thing you should be doing right now.
Let's break it down real quick. Part 1. What's the one thing? Boom. It forces you to choose. No more lists of 10, just one. Part 2. Such that by doing it, connects that one action to a real result. And the final part, easier or unnecessary. That, my friends, is the leverage test. That's how you know you found the lead domino. Okay, so now you've got the question. You have the tool to find your one thing every single day. But how do you make this automatic? How do you actually hardwire this focus into your life so you don't even have to think about it?
That's where habit comes in. See, you don't need to be a superhero of discipline forever. You just need enough discipline to build the one habit that makes everything else fall into place.
And you can forget that old myth about 21 days. The actual science shows that on average, it takes about 66 days to lock in a new habit until it's automatic. That's the window. That's the amount of time you need to pour your focus into one thing long enough for it to truly catch fire and become a part of who you are. And the process couldn't be simpler. First, you use that focusing question to pick the right habit to build, the one that matters most. Second, you apply what we call selected discipline. That just means you use your willpower for a short sprint to get that habit off the ground. And third, you just let the habit take over. It runs on autopilot, freeing up your energy for the next big thing. So we're going to leave you with one final direct challenge. No more theory. What is your one thing right now?
We're serious. Not your to-do list, not your top 3 priorities, just the one. Find your lead domino. Now go knock it over.